Tamworth, New England, Pete Mailer is blunt about his objective, to give Barnaby Joyce hell. Mr. Mailer, a farmer from Bogabilla just outside the boundary of Mr. Joyce's former New South Wales seat of New England, is one of the 16 other candidates trying to make permanent what is widely expected to be just a brief hiatus for Mr. Joyce from the Deputy Prime Minister's office courtesy of his citizenship tangles. The Nationals leader, Mr. Mailer says, is far too comfortable. He needs to know if he does not do his job, he'll be thrown out. If we can't erode his margin, he will be emboldened to keep going the way he has, selling regional people short, he said. But in interviews with voters on the main street of New England Regional Centre Tamworth this week, two things become clear. Many voters are just annoyed by the citizenship issue and are damned if they are going to lose what they regard as their true blue Australian member because of it. Second, however underwhelmed people are by the Turnbull government, rusted-on Nationals supporters are still firmly behind the party leader, giving a street-level touch to the increasing divergence between the party and its senior partners the Liberals. "Here's one of us," one passing woman called out to journalists waiting outside Mr. Joyce's campaign office on Friday. Even regular Labour voter Anne Williams, 59, branded the by-election a waste of money, a waste of time, a waste of everything. She summed up the view of many locals in calling it a formality and said she'd probably vote for Mr. Joyce because he did deserve to lose the seat. Mr. Joyce has played a low-risk campaign, even as wider forces were causing havoc within the coalition, notably Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull's back down on a banking royal commission forced by renegade Nationals who answer to Mr. Joyce, and the call on Friday for Mr. Turnbull to step down by New South Wales Nationals leader John Barilaro. Locals are freely swapping unflattering stories about Mr. Joyce's personal life, and Mr. Joyce said his campaign had been menaced by death threats and stalkers. A bullet was sent to his former electorate office and a second, though police say unrelated, bullet was left at a school that was to be used as a polling station. "We're now starting to see in Australia serious threats rather than just pretend threats," Mr. Joyce said on Friday afternoon. He added, "Obviously Twitter and social media has spent a lot of time just being completely defamatory. But all in all, what I find incredibly humbling is the people of New England can see through all of this." To the anger of other candidates, Mr. Joyce dodged two town hall-style community forums. Although he's travelled the electorate and held 32 gatherings, he's avoided giving the other candidates a platform as well as any sticky mud thrown about his personal life, save for one unseemly confrontation in a pub in which he reportedly knocked another man's hat off. Mr. Mailer was infuriated by the Joyce campaign's sanctimonious dismissal of other candidates as blow-ins. They include a Liberal defector from Perth and a Sydney IT entrepreneur called Meow Meow, as a basis for not holding public debates. "There are real, local people with genuine concerns," he said.